guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, bringing you your February 2019 reading. I decided to change my monthly reading up just a little bit because, hey, like New Year, I know it's February, it's not January, but for January I always do my like year ahead spread, and so, you know, obviously I did that in January, but then I was like, okay, for 2019 moving forward, I just wanted to change how I do my monthly readings. So I've actually added more to it. I've added a color for the month, an essential oil from the month. The theme card is always the same, you know, like I always have a theme card for the month, and I've kept the stone or stones of the month, and then I pull a few more cards, you know, for different areas of our lives. So I'm actually working with like 4 decks now instead of 2 decks for the monthly reading. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. So we're going to be looking into health, love, family, friendship, work, and money. So I figured that like those were pretty good areas, you know, so I've kind of, you know, added a little bit, and I hope you guys enjoy. Before we get into anything else, I just wanted to remind everyone that I have, well, since, you know, New Year, kind of freshening things up a little bit, I've actually freshened up my Patreon page, because something about my tiers, I want it to be more interactive, because I love interacting with you guys, hence why I love doing my live chats like every Saturday, you know, here on YouTube. And I love connecting with people on social media, and I was like, I want to have more of that for the people that, you know, support me on Patreon. So I've revamped the tiers. So there's you know, healings, there's like meditation live streams, there's like tarot spread live streams, and like tarot and fitness, and there's mediumship live streams. Gosh, we have like monthly crystal grids, there's like weekly card draws for the people on there, and it's like a lot of like talking back and forth, and just I think a lot more fun and exciting. So hey, if you're interested, you know, in any of that, and plus there was like other stuff too, then head over to patreon.com/kittens, weights, and tarot. I would love to have you over there, you know, so we can hang out and have a lot of like awesome fun. I can't wait to, like, you know, really get into a lot of that stuff. So I'm super excited. Yay! Also, an update on my Wally Oracle. So now that we're in February, mid-February, so February 15th, I will be able to finally get like a prototype of my Oracle deck so that I could show it here on YouTube, and also to help make my Kickstarter page. So February is going to be the month that I'm going to start my Kickstarter for my Wally's World, a healing journey through sacred sites. I'm so excited. I'm like, whew, like I'm gonna have an Oracle deck, like I can't wait to like have my own Oracle in my hands. I'm so excited. Okay. We're moving on. We're finally going into the reading. I, you know, kind of looked over all my stones and decided to pick a stone for the month, and the box of, because I have like, I'm looking off to the side because it's literally like a box, and it's like got different sections of different stones, but the particular section that I was really drawn to was agate. So I was really feeling agate for the month of February. So this is a nice piece of sliced agate. Actually, it's pretty, well, I mean, I can see it from this side, but it's got a little bit of visibility through it, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna show you guys various pieces of interesting agate. But I was really like, felt, you know, I mean, of course, you know, I could say like grounding, you feel like grounding, but really I feel like this month is a transitional month for people to finally solidify things, like to finally like get stuff together that you've been like meaning to get together, like things that you've been working on, and just like, you know, like, oh, I've been meaning to do that, or, you know, I've been, you know, finally trying to get this thing off the ground. I am kind of thinking of like my Oracle deck too, but this is like just like the energy, not just for me, but that, you know, it's that we're finally gonna get our stuff together. We're gonna get it together this month, people. So you know, just definitely with all this, oh, I love this one, my little fire agate. I just really feel like this is the month that for many of us, and remember this is just a general reading, so I'm not saying every one of us out there is going to be able to, you know, have the stars aligned for us, basically. As aligned as Orion's belt. That was pretty nerdy, but yeah, I just feel like there have been a lot of people who've been working for maybe years, you know, and months on certain projects, wanting to finally take a leap, the fool's leap, on certain things. And well, the month of February is going to be the month for that. So if you would like to bring in more of that type of energy, you know, and you love playing with crystals, I'd say, you know, surround your altar or your home or your nightstand with agate this month, just to bring in a little bit of that getting it together, people. So like I said at the very beginning of this video, you know, I've added a few cards for this reading. So let's dive into this with the first card being our theme card for the month. So for the theme card for the month, I've actually already pulled. Since I'm pulling a lot more cards, I've pre-pulled some cards, but I haven't looked at them yet, and you're just gonna have to take my word on that. But I'm using the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann, the lovely Chris Ann. And let's look at what our theme is for the month of February. Okay. Did I not just say we were going to need some agate in our life to finally get our stuff together? Okay, so we have celebrate your wins. So like I said, many of us are finally gonna feel like we've made some huge strides. We're finally getting some payoffs. It's finally like that, like 9 of Cups, like heck yeah. You know, feeling pretty good about things. For some of you guys, it might even be like the 6 of Wands, just like heck yeah, like win. So yeah, I'm really feeling like this is gonna be a month of celebration. You know, just like finally, even if like what you're doing is not something that's like widely recognized for everybody, it's like for yourself, you're like, I finally did it. I said I was gonna do it. I've been working on it and I freaking did it, you know? So celebrate your wins is going to be our overarching theme, again, for our general reading for the month of February. So if at any point of this reading it's not really clicking with you, then, you know, just toss it away, let it go. Anything that does, you know, stick to you and click with you or resonate with you, that you jive with, you know, then hey, take it and roll with it, sister and mister. Okay, so our next card that we're going to be pulling is our essential oil for the month. I love working with essential oils, and I was like, why don't I have an essential oil for the month? Good question. Okay, so for that, I'm actually pulling from my essential oil oracle. Ooh, and that is nice and bright. There we go. Like I said before, I've already pre-pulled the card for that, and we have, these are like all, I love it when the cards all go together. It's just nice. Okay, so we have good fortune, wild orange. The statement or the affirmation for us would be, I attract abundance. Feel the joy you would have once you have reached your goals here and now. You will achieve your dreams fastest that way. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Celebrate your wins. And then here we have wild orange, which is good fortune. The good fortune card up here. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about like what the rest of the cards say, because I am super excited. Take this, love this. Those of you that love working with essential oils, figure out how you can incorporate wild orange, or, you know, even if you don't have like the wild orange essential oil, you know, hanging around in your house, eat oranges, eat tangerines, eat cuties, eat, well, you know, anything with that zesty, you know, feel to it, and just, yeah, you know, if you wanted to have like start wearing some perfumes that have more of like a hint of orange to them, anything with that orange in it, I think would be lovely for this month to bring in again that fortune, that celebratory, like, yes, yes, I'm doing it. And so what this is saying here, you know, for this essential oil is like celebrate as if you've already won. So I'm not saying like, psh, peace to this job, I am out the door. It's more like that feeling you have of like, yeah, I did it. You know, so it's more the feeling is what you need to walk around with, because the outwards happenings is going to match that inward feeling pretty soon. And yes, I'm excited about that. Okay, the third card that I pull is a color card for the month, and for that I am using the Deck of Color by the Color Gypsy. And I've had this for a little while now, and it's one of my fave decks. I actually keep it in this beautiful blue leather pouch from the Etsy shop, My Grandmother's Hands. I have like, I don't know, like 12 of their pouches now. I love their tarot bags. Okay, so our color for the month of February is, ooh, Innocence. Okay, so we have this beautiful like lavender color. Innocence. Interesting. Okay, I had to just bring down the lighting just a little bit. I think things were getting a little overblown, but yes, we have Innocence, our theme card, Celebrate Our Wins, which I like how those colors somewhat go together, and then we have Good Fortune with our Wild Orange. So we have our essential oil, we have our theme card, and we have our color for the month. So interesting. So I think with Innocence, you know, that whatever projects or thing we've been working on leading up into this point, you know, and that could be a variety of things. It could even just be like self-work, like, you know, us as the project. That it's coming from a place of innocence. It's coming from a place of good intentions. It's coming from, you know, heart center. And I know with like this lavender, we're thinking like maybe like crown chakra. But, you know, I think that this guidance that's coming in is being filtered through our heart. So what we genuinely, with good intentions, want to do is going to come to fruition this month, or at least you're going to see huge strides in that. So that's why I'm thinking this word innocence, you know, kind of ties in with that. And I'm really, really excited, you know, that it's coming from right here, people, right here. So going on to the rest of the cards, I actually haven't pulled them yet. That I actually wanted to do a little shuffle with you guys. I feel like I have to like shuffle with you guys. It just feels weird if I have things like pre-pulled, but okay, so this is going to be for the other areas, so I'm just going to kind of fast forward through this, but I'm going to pull the areas and then we'll go ahead and take a look at them. So here we go. Whew. Okay, so I will say I know that there's no backings on this deck, but this deck is actually from my friend out in Belgium. This is her Tuga Oracle because her nickname is Tortuga. And this is the little bag that I keep it in with, which actually she got me this bag too. So this is her Tuga Oracle. It's not for sale or anything because it's not, you know, like free images. These are like somebody's images, you know, from off the internet, just various people. So this is just like kind of like a personal for like me and her deck. So let's get into the rest of the reading. So the first card that I'm going to be pulling is our health. And remember, this is just general, so this may not be for everybody who's watching this video at any point in time, because not everybody watches it on the day that it comes out. So health for the month of February 2018. We have boundaries. Okay, so health-wise, how I see boundaries translated into that is that, you know, we know intrinsically, I believe, what's good for our bodies. We know that, you know, certain hanging out, you know, and this is all health. I'm not just talking about like, you know, here, but I'm also talking about up here in the body. So our mental health. We know when hanging around certain people isn't good for us. We know when overindulging way too often, you know, in certain foods is not good for us. We know that overindulgence and inactivity and sedentary lifestyle is not good for us. Like we just kind of know this intrinsically. And maybe that's just my favorite word for right now. But what I'm seeing is boundaries when it comes to yourself. When you consciously recognize that you're doing something or you're in a certain situation that you know is just not good for this up here and this right here. You know, it's just and all of this right here that you just know is not good, where you're going to have to step in as your own parent this month. So you're going to have to be like, hey, you know what? I've been doing this way too long. I need to stop. I need to stop. So I'm getting that is like, you know, you consciously know, you know, I mean, like, you know, sometimes we just want to be like a little kid. It's like, you know what? I get to do whatever I want. I do what I want. I'm an adult. I can do what I want. But you know what? Sometimes that adult needs to pull up that inner parent, needs to parent that adult and be like, you know what? No, that's not good for you. You're not going to do that anymore. You're not going to do that right now. You're not going to hang out with those people right now because that's not good for you. Those are not the people you should be hanging out with. So this is like adult parental you talking to child you, who's been running amok for way too long. So putting boundaries within yourself. So being able to parent yourself. That's what I keep hearing. Parent yourself. Moving on to our second card. This is going to be our love card. So whether you are hitched up with someone, not hitched up with someone, you just been dating somebody on and off, you no be dating no one, whatever it may be, let's look into love. Okay, so this card is a little sideways. This one says sacred practice. If you guys can see that in there, it's actually a very pretty card. Okay, so sacred practice with love. Oh, okay, so this is like, maybe it's because, you know, the month of February is like love, you know, we got Valentine's Day, which I know some people are like, that's a Hallmark holiday, you know, St. Valentine. But, you know, a lot of people have been talking about self-love too, and actually I'm going to be creating a spread. It's a Valentine's spread, but it's not like the kind of Valentine's you're thinking, so it's going to be interesting. But for this sacred practice, I'm getting more of treating yourself, and I guess you guys are going to be working on a lot of like alter egos this month, like being your own parent, and now you're going to be working on being your own date. So whether you are actually dating somebody or not, or married to somebody or not right now, I'm getting to treat yourself as if you were your own boyfriend or your own girlfriend, or your own husband or your own wife. So take yourself out. I know it sounds kind of goofy, but treat yourself and act the way a good girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband should, but towards yourself. So do all the things that is nice, but you're doing it for yourself. So me being a female, I could, well, I like flowers. I know there's guys out there that like flowers too. My dude, he loves flowers. So I would maybe go out and get myself flowers, because you know what, it feels nice. There are certain places I like to eat, certain foods I like to eat. You know what, maybe I just go out there, maybe I just try to make it myself, even though I'm not really like the best of cooks. I can cook like Pinoy food, like Filipino food, but that's about it. So you know, maybe get some advice from the dude, whip up something for me or for us. You know, just things that I think feel nice when other people do it for me, I'm gonna end up doing for myself. So take yourself out this month. Be nice to yourself. Had to take a little bit of a break there because the crazy Lokester, who is laying on all the cards right now, decided he was going to jump up on the bookcase and try to knock down all my stones and my wigs. So, moving right along. Now we're going into family. So if I can get the Lokester's big furry butt off that card, we can take a look at family. Lokester, people want to look at family. Okay. So that card is emotional processing. Okay, so with this card I'm getting, I think you guys already know, it's pretty self-explanatory, but allowing us to process and feel the feels when, you know, things haven't gone so well in the past with certain relatives, family members, things were said or things that were done that you feel are unforgivable, or they just really make you angry, they really irritate you, or they make you sad. All the emotions that we consider negative, but they're all valid emotions nonetheless. They're just a part of us, you know, whether they're negative or positive, you know, emotions. We need to feel them all as a human being. That's like what makes us human. You know, if all we did was feel happy, there's something wrong. Allowing yourself this month to process what occurred instead of to just block it out. Because when we decide we're not going to deal with things right now, I'm just going to block it out, from, you know, my years of, you know, group therapy and counseling, which I highly recommend. I believe it's really beneficial for mental health and all of that, that by leaving things to bottle up and fester, it starts to come out in other ways. Self-destructive behavior, the way we interact with our friends and the way we interact with our kids, the way we interact, you know, at work. You know, you can't just keep things in. It's gonna come out in one way or another. So this month, just allowing yourself to process what happened. So not saying that you need to forgive people or you need to go, you know, do this or that. It's just, okay, so this person said this. This is how I felt. This is why I felt that way. Sometimes we actually need to sit down and actually figure out how we feel about certain things. So how did you actually feel in that moment? Like, why did that certain thing that was said or that was done, why did it upset you so much? And what do you think, you know, in your mind, the person could do to help alleviate some of those feelings that you have, you know? And this is all just like, you know, mental. But, you know, I just kind of, whatever your process is, whatever you need to do, I just feel like we need to actually sit down with those things that we don't want to deal with, and we need to deal with them this month. So that doesn't sound like fun, but, you know, for your own well-being, and because we are working on ourselves and being nice to ourselves and good to ourselves, and we're dating ourselves, we're gonna need to process this stuff. Next, we're moving into friendship. Ooh, talk to your gods. Okay, right away what jumped into my brain was the word gratitude. So for friendships this month, what I'm feeling is that we need to show appreciation for the friendships in our lives, whether they're super close friends or the friends that we hang out with, you know, sometimes. And I'm not saying this is where we need to go buy these people things. Like, money and buying wasn't anywhere in what I was feeling and processing. It was more giving them a phone call, sending them a text, sending them something goofy on Facebook, or tagging them on Instagram, you know, something interesting. But finding a way to spend time with them or connect with them, really. So that is a way of showing your friends gratitude, that, hey, I genuinely love hanging out with you. I love your company. I love when we interact, you know, and so, you know, it means more to a friend, because I know when my friends like call me when I hang out, like, I love hanging out with them. It feels really good. And it means so much more than, like, let's say my friend, I don't know, bought me a perfume or bought me a necklace, because then it's like, oh, well, that's nice, But what I really wanted was to hang out with my friend. You know, I don't have friends so they can get me things. I have friends so that I can talk to them, so I can hang out with them and we can have fun, we can bounce ideas off of each other. So this month, in the month of February, I'm really seeing that show gratitude towards friends, super close friends, and friends that are, you know, just kind of like our group of friends, by calling them, spending time with them, and just figuring out a way to communicate with them so that they know that, you know, they're still a part of your life. All right, moving on to our next card. We have money, and actually I thought I just pulled one card, but as I rubbed my hands together, I was like, oh, that's two cards. Okay, it was meant to be two cards. So this is our money. Interesting. We have distance, time, and we have discovery. I have actually never pulled these cards before. These two cards, that's very interesting. So when it comes to money, give me just a second because it's two cards. So I'm going to put this together. Okay. So I'm thinking like, okay, so it's like, so distance and discovery. Okay, so when it comes to our money, so we're talking finances, we're not just talking like general abundance, but we are talking finances. I want people to first take a step back when looking at finances and being like, where was I when I was a teenager? What did my finances look like? For me, it was $7 a week for doing all my chores, which is like a lot of freaking chores. I think that was like slave labor. But of course, okay, not having a whole lot of money as a kid, you know, like, what do kids need a lot of money for anyway? Then looking at my finances, you know, in college, still pretty broke, but not as broke as I was as a kid. Looking at my finances in my early 20s, you know, first job, okay, a lot more money than I had as, you know, a college student and a child, of course, you know, and then just looking at the progression, you know, and being able to reflect back like how far you've come when it comes to your money. And it just helps to just give it a little tweak of where you are presently with your money. It just changes your mindset a little bit and how you view your finances when you get to look back at how far you've come. How far you've come from like 5-year-old you, 10-year-old you, 18-year-old you, 24-year-old you. You know, you in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, just how far you've come. And then starting to think, what do I want to do what do I want to do with this money for me in the future? Because, you know, looking back on past self, where your money has been, and how far you've come, but now how do you want to help out your future self? So for me, you know, I'm 37 and, you know, how do I want to help out future me? So me that's going to be 67 someday, you know, let's go 30 years in the future. Well, right now I do have like a retirement account set up. I do have monies that I put aside every month in my savings account, just bam, just right away, every paycheck, so that if anything happens, you know, I can be out of work for like a year and I'll be okay. You know, I'm putting stuff away so that me in the future can look back and say thank you. Thank you so much. And I know maybe not everybody has a job where they can, you know, their job has like a retirement thing like set up. So you know, my dude's basically a general contractor, so he has to have his own like retirement thing set up, you know, because he owns his own business, so like he has to be the one to set up, you know, his retirement thing. And so, but we're both putting away what we can, you know, obviously that looks different depending on your financial situation, but it's putting away what you can, knowing that you're going to get a thank you from future you. So when it comes to money this month, this distance time discovery is first taking a look back, go backwards to where you started, to where you are now, and then how are you going to help make that future you say thank you. And that's for money in the month of February. And our final card is going to be in the realm of work. Yes, this is one card. Oh, passion. Okay, well, this one's rather easy. So when it comes to work this month, you know, yeah, I could just easily say put a little bit of passion into it. But think about when you first got your job. What about it appealed to you and your passions? Like, why did you get it in the first place? You know, because sometimes we get like a little stagnant in our jobs, and we just like get like taken over by the humdrum and the daily drive and the daily grind, you know, things like that. And we forget why we started. We forget that feeling that we first had when we first got that job, how psyched we were, like, I got the job, that feeling of like they hired me. So how could you go back and reincorporate some of that passion, some of that, I'm so stoked I got this job, even if you've been at the job for like a long time, you know, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you've been there for a long time. How could you reignite that passion? It's a relationship. You know, you have your work relationship with your work, just like you have a relationship with a partner. You know, when two people, you know, are together for a really long time, you know, they tend to fall into a routine. And sometimes people become upset because that the feelings of, ooh, we're dating for the first time, or ooh, like first kiss, like, ooh, you know, I love this person. You know, it seems like all those like little butterflies have gone. Well, how could you bring some of that back, you know? And that's what a lot of people do to kind of like refresh their partnerships, you know, their marriages and their dating life. Same thing for work relationship. It's a relationship too. So how can you reignite some of that passion, some of that, ooh, I got the job, like I'm so excited. And if you feel that that passion that you once had, no matter what you do, isn't going to spark what you felt before, if you're like, well, why am I in this job, you know, and that's not where my values are now, or that's not where I see, you know, my life heading now, then now you could start reevaluating and being like, do I need to move around within this job? Not like quit the job altogether, but like maybe move to a different department, do something different, ask to take on something different, and maybe you find that you like doing something else for this like same job. But really evaluating work in the month of February. You know, first, you know, how could I reignite that passion? And so maybe you try that, and then you realize, you know, that's not where I see my life going now. That's not where I feel like I'm needed anymore. But maybe I could try this out within this job. Maybe I can try this out and just kind of see and feel around what works for you this month in February. Find your passion. Follow your bliss. All right, so that's it. Wow, there's a lot more cards, but I really enjoyed this reading, and I hope you guys enjoyed the reading too. So, just quick recap. The stone for the month is agate, because we're going to get our stuff together this month. This is going to be the month of things coming together. So that's where we got this celebrate your wins being our overarching theme. Our essential oil being good fortune here with wild orange. So bringing in some of that good fortune, celebrating our wins, acting as if. And innocence, knowing that a lot of those things that are coming to fruition for us this month are coming from our heart. They're coming from a place of innocence and good intentions. And then we had just like a ton of cards for the rest of the reading. So like love and friendship and work and health and family and monies and all that stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed this reading. This was a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think. So, you know, like I said, I just wanted to try out something different. Now that it's 2018, just change up my reading style just a little bit, or actually not my style of reading, but I guess how many cards I'm using and what I'm doing for my style, for my monthly readings. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. And hey, if you want to have a little bit more interaction, a little bit more fun together, like doing some like crystal grid work, working out to the tarot, doing a little bit of healings, doing some meditations here and there, hanging out with the Lokester, hanging out with Wowly, talking to some spirits, you want to have fun with all that stuff, then head over to patreon.com/kittens, weights, and tarot and see how you can sign up for some of those free goodies. All right, so that's it for me, spiritual homies. If you would like to catch a reading with me, and I have a lot of different types of readings, and if you want to go even more in depth in the month of February specifically for you, or into a specific area of your life like love, or you know, friendship, or family, or money, or work, or whatever it may be, I have a lot of different readings on my website. So head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. I would love to read for you. And yeah, I'm wishing you all a fan-freaking-tastic February. All right, so I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.